Hey, it's David Levin. I want to talk to you today about dieting, why I'm on one, because some people think that's weird, and most important, why you should be on one too, even if you're thin. Most people go on a diet at one time or another, me included, obviously. But something I'm really just seeing lately is that I think they do it for the wrong reasons. They have the wrong expectations and goals in mind. So what happens is, well, first they don't do it, and they should, or they don't stick with it. Or for people at a healthy weight, they don't think to do it, right? Why would they? When in fact, it would help them in some surprising and important ways. So here are the reasons I diet. And you'll see why I think you should too as we go along. The first reason I do it is, no surprise, I don't like the way I look, right? And this is the reason most people diet or think about dieting. I look in the mirror, I see pictures. It's not what I want to look like. I think my shape should be, shoulders out here, the chest comes in from there, and that line should continue down to the hips. That's how I think I should look. So when the line goes shoulders and chest and then back out again, I don't like that. So at the first level, it's just pure vanity. I don't like the look. There's nothing wrong with dieting for vanity reasons, but that's my first one. I also don't like the way I feel physically and emotionally. I don't like when my clothes start getting tight and uncomfortable. I don't like it when it gets harder to keep up with the kids. I feel tired all the time. I don't like being embarrassed, taking off my shirt at the pool, or when my kids poke me in the stomach and say, "Squishy belly, squishy belly." It's funny, but I'd rather provide them entertainment in other ways. Okay, so that's another reason, and there are many examples we could think of along that line, the emotional and physical discomforts of being overweight. Then, of course, there's the health reason, another good one. It's not healthy to be overweight, as we all know, and the more overweight you are, the worse it is. Again, we all know that. One of the best health reasons to lose weight, though, and something you might not think of, is to get better sleep. Sleep is a huge issue for people today, especially for their focus. And being overweight is one of the biggest factors in not getting good sleep. But it's also a health issue in just about every way you can think of. Now, health isn't a big one for me. I'm in pretty good shape. My health insurance has this program where you go in every year for a fitness check, and I've scored a perfect 100 the past 2 years. So that's great, feel good about that. But my weight is always just under the limit. So I'm doing fine, but it's still something that keeps me focused on it. The fourth reason I do it starts to get into some deeper areas, and that is I don't think it's who I am. When I see myself looking a certain way, got a few extra pounds on there, it just doesn't line up with the person I believe I am. It's like, it's not me. It's just not me. Now you could say, well, it is you, you're kidding yourself. That's not what it feels like. It feels like a fundamental disconnect. So that's about my identity and self-image. And that's a pretty big deal. The better you feel about yourself as a person, the more open and creative you are, you're more energetic and positive, more present with other people. Just all the things you want to be. So that self-esteem, confidence factor, that's a good reason. But it's still not the biggest one. The biggest reason I diet, and why I think you should too, even if you're thin and healthy, has to do with what you might call waking up and the feelings associated with that. So here's what I've observed. When I'm on top of this, when I'm resisting my cravings, staying in control of what I eat and drink, I feel great. My weight hasn't changed. I still look the same, but I feel much more alive and energized. On the other hand, the times when some other part of me is in charge, the part that thinks I need whatever it is I'm craving, it darkens every area of my life. I start feeling out of control, overwhelmed, depressed, scared, stressed out. It's really striking, the difference between the two states. It's night and day. So the lesson there is that the real difference, the inner game, psychological difference, is not about your weight or your look. It's about who's in charge. Which part of you is in charge? Now, I should say, we're talking here about craving things that aren't that harmful. Okay, my personal addictions are for butter and sweets and Coke Zero. Not going to kill me, at least not quickly. With things that can kill you, the substance itself obviously matters. But with the everyday things we tend to crave, the big psychological effect is not about what you're addicted to, it's simply that you're addicted. And by addicted, I mean you crave it. You feel the need for it, the desire, the impulse to do it. I want sweets and fat and Coke Zero every day, many times a day. That's addicted for me. And we all have things like that, things we crave, things we do unconsciously and impulsively. And when you do those things, you are essentially sleepwalking. You're in a trance. You're not in control of yourself. Some other part of you is in control. But when you start to pay attention, resist that impulse and craving, you wake up and you can really feel the difference. So that's the biggest reason I'm on a diet. It's not about the weight or the look or even what I'm craving. It's just an incredible tool for waking up and getting back in control of what kind of person I am and getting the feelings that come with that. It's a beautiful thing. So I really recommend you try this. And it's not even a diet. It's just a 30-day challenge. Pick one thing you crave or do impulsively, kick it for 30 days. Notice the difference it makes. I think you really feel it. And to help you do it, I want you to get the Focused Action Toolkit. The hardest part with a goal like this is keeping it in mind, staying on track. The toolkit is the system I use to do that, and it makes all the difference. It's super simple. There's a free training at my site. It takes less than 10 minutes to learn and set up. It's just a couple of videos, some downloads. And you may already have a system that works for you, but I at least want you to see what I use, see if it can help you stay on track. So go to my site, davidlevin.com. First big button there says Get the Toolkit. So you register, check it out. I think you'll love it. So there you go. The real reason I'm on a diet and why I think you should be too, even if you're thin. It's not about losing weight. It's about waking up, about raising your inner game. It's a beautiful thing. So I hope you try it out. Hope it makes a difference for you. I'm pretty sure it will. Let me know how it goes. As always, keep up the good work. I'll see you next time.